Well, howdy. This is the Flying Auditors channel, and we are a couple days out from Memorial Day 2024. Can't really see the graphic that well. Memorial Day, Remember and Honor. The title today is Memorial Day 2024 and a Veteran's Responsibility. Before I continue, let's go ahead and pay tribute to those fallen that we need to remember and talk about. Well, most of us vets have had friends who passed. Some that are going to be listening to this have had friends die in their arms. This is for everybody, military vets and civilians alike, but I'm going to target us, guys and gals who put our name on a dotted line that could have cost us our life. And for those that retired from the military, for those of us who didn't, those of us who are disabled, for anybody who's put on a uniform, we have a responsibility to share the news and talk about those that have fallen and honor them this weekend. It's not about burgers and freaking barbecue and all that, even though most of you Gen X's have no clue. Yep, I'm a baby boomer. Boomer said it. Get over it. But we need to honor those that have fallen because freedom's not free. This is a time for reflection, honoring everybody that has passed on in the for whatever in the military. Now, there are guys and gals out that have been to Afghanistan, Iraq, all the wars since Vietnam, who are living with stuff inside their bodies, maladies, missing parts, non-use of limbs, and the list goes on. And we need to think about that as we move through Memorial Day weekend, because this is a time to remember and honor those that have gone before us and have given their life, and those who served valiantly. I mean, anybody that served basically is what I would say. But the actual official reason for Memorial Day is we're mourning and honoring those military people who have died in the performance of their military duties. And as you move through your age cycle, your life cycle, are you going to be one of those that someone remembers? Absolutely. Now, there's another component that we'll add onto this, and I'm going to keep this in memory, but I want you to think about yourself. And this is for all the guys and gals out there that have a absolute 100% distrust of the VA, of the military complex, if you will. Now, let me tell you something. How many of y'all have ever used the term or said to your spouse, "We're broke. We can't afford that"? Now, if you're in a different station in life, ignore this. I'm talking to the majority of the people that are, hardworking, regardless of whether they're degreed or not. Everybody is broke at a different level. But I'm talking about those who use those terms, use those words. You know, we can't do that thing, family, because of we can't go to Arlington National Cemetery to walk the acreage to honor the guys and gals from way back in current day because what? Don't have the money, uh, can't scrape it together, taking time off work. There's a lot of everybody celebrates. I don't care who you are. Everybody takes advantage of this day because it's a federal holiday, unless your company doesn't honor federal holidays, and you're able to take your time off whenever you want and accumulate it, whatever it's called. But I want you to think about this. My wife and I were talking this morning, and as I mentioned in one of my other videos, um, I want you to think about some things because it's going to make you. This is an interesting Monday coming up, but don't be one of those that said, I wish I would have. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of them. Absolutely 100% one of them. What I did, I should say, let me rephrase this. What I here, I'm going to do something here while I'm talking to you. So there we go. I'm going to do this one because I'm Memorial Day I'm talking about. All right. So let me give you a thought. Now, turn me off. You don't like what I'm saying, whatever. But I'm going to show you something and it'll make you think about some things. I did not, I got my VA disability, and some people view VA disability as maybe welfare. I know I've spoken to lots of Vietnam and Korean vets that are not in using the VA system in terms of the rating, getting rated and getting compensated for the injuries or anything that occurred during your military service, that have this pride about them that they think taking money from the government is beneath them. And that's your belief system. I mean, you're free to do what you want to do. But let me share with you this weekend as you're thinking about some things. Run the bloody numbers. I did. I asked ChatGPT a question. Now, for anybody out there that has used the words can't do it because of underline fill in the blank, lack of money, lack of time, whatever. When I got out and I found out I could apply, and I applied, I got awarded my first disability, 1988. Don't do my mistake. I wasn't apprised that I had rights, and I didn't pay attention when I got out. I didn't read the documents they sent me, most likely. But when I was awarded recently for something that I was denied back in 1988, I almost said 1888, 1988, I've got an attorney working with me, helping me get all my benefits and what have you. He's running the gambit for me and staying on top of it. But I was denied a specific tree element I've got now, and I've had since in the military. I was stupid. I did not appeal that decision, and quite frankly, I didn't know I could. I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally ready. So don't do, you guys and gals getting out now. Don't make my mistake. Don't do what I've done and put this stuff on the back burner and just move on with your life. You've earned it. You deserve it. Your family deserves it. But I want to show you, for anybody that's working right now, as an investor, as a guy that does stuff, you always think of things, and think of things that are late in life better than never thinking about them. If you notice, I can't really raise my neck up. That's one of my disabilities. I'm fused, so I can't bring my neck up. I have to arch my body, my back, to look up. I don't wish that on anybody. So let me show you something here. I'm gonna bring this up, and let's get it in big, and let's get it large. Oops, sorry. Let's do this here. Okay, so I'm using ChatGPT. And I asked some questions. Now, as you can see, I asked the question: what lump sum amount of cash must be maintained to spin off 29.49 per month? Now, 29.49 per month of income. Now, if we're relating it to our disabilities and compensation rating, is what? So that's 22.49. What is it? I think I put it in here. Where's it at? Right here. That's a 90% rating. And you can use any of these figures, and I'll show you. But think about this: tax-free money, the whole 9 yards. And here is what ChatGPT said. Now, we're going to assume a large lump sum. If you're at 90% at 29.49, 12 months, that's 35 G's a year. Now, if you're using the 4% rule, that means off your gross figure, this figure 884,000. That's what kind of money you're going to need to have in the bank to spin off 4% every year to generate 29.49. How long is it going to take you, people that hate the VA, that do not want to take the time to put the paperwork in to get this money? How long is it going to take you to save that money, or is that not important to you? Now, this could be, it could be, the rule could be 5% or 10%. Run the numbers using ChatGPT or math, but this is something that's significant, guys. I have lost since 1988 hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why? Because I had a personal decision to go through. And what was that decision? I had to make a decision. I was going to do my flying, and I did. I didn't want to jeopardize my flight certificate. So 30 years moving forward, boy, this is really, really doing what it's doing. If y'all got an idea what's going on, I haven't put up the green screen behind me. Maybe that's what's causing this really goofy looking now. But I want you guys and gals to think about, I'm going to change the settings again, so bear with me, because this is annoying the crap out of me. Let's do there. Is that going to do it? Let's see if that does it. Bizarre. Okay, I'll use this one. You know, it is what it is. We'll do this one. Background. All right. So, still report abuse by the VA. Don't hate the VA, especially if you can dislike them, but like the money. Let's get your fear, get your venomous hatred of the VA for whatever reason. Get it out of your head, because you are losing. You are losing. What are you losing? Well, if you're at 90%, 2,900 with a spouse. Now, if you got kids, add more money. Let's go a step further. 30%. Let's go in at 30% and a 4% rule. 157,000 in cash in a bank that's generating interest. If we're not talking. We didn't have factored in inflation. But still, how long is it going to take you to drop $157,000 in the bank to generate enough, $524 a month, that you deserve? So where I'm going with this is, pull your head out, people. Money, you do the math. My gosh, let's do 838. Now you need to just look at these benefits that are available wherever you fall in here. I mean, you can see them 30%, even the 10 and 20% ratings. That's an extra 300 for 20, 171. I mean, if you're strapped, even that little bit works. And then you add kids, you add kids after you start hitting the 30%. And it's pretty easy to get 30% for the most of us and most of the guys and gals I know. But look at this. There it is, $524. So let's look down here. Let's just look, $838 a month. That's a 40% rating with a spouse. You're 40% rated. Okay, you took a year to get it done. Little delayed, little hassles, all the BS we all go through. Right on. Look at that figure. Okay. Can you see that figure? Can you see it? Let me enlarge it a little bit more. Let's do that. 251, $250,000 in the bank to generate 838 a month, which is comparable to a 40% rating from the VBA, the Veterans Administration. Why am I pointing this out to you? Again, because this is a time to remember, guys and gals. We got to remember, what we've gone through. All of us do. And I apologize. I don't know what's causing this today. Didn't do it yesterday. But we need to think about this. You cannot argue with the fact. You can't argue with that, people. That's a lot of damn money. I don't care who you are. If you're making $1 million, it's still good chunk of change, regardless. Now let's talk about somebody that maybe has lost the use of a limb, an amputation. Your feet don't work, one of your hands doesn't work, whatever. Do you realize you can qualify for that? 4,800 a month. What kind of money do you need to have in the bank if you can't use your hand and it can be tied back, or your feet and it can be tied to your military service? There's a lot of connectables now, a lot. I mean, you just got to look, guys, and look, that's 59 grand, 58 grand a year, tax free. Tax free. What kind of money in the bank would you have to generate 4,500? Oh, there you have it. Is 4,800. Is that like chump change for most of y'all? How's everybody doing with that? Think about that. If someone that sees this and they've got issues late in life because of service, and you don't know if it's related to the service, if you don't know if it's related to the service, take the time to find out, guys. I mean, you earned it. You've earned it. But look at this: $1.4 million in the bank to spend $4,800 a month in interest using the 4% rule. Wow. Need I say more? This is going to hit some of you hard, but run the damn numbers. Look at the numbers. Oh my gosh, there's just so much available. And then there's this is special ratings I was looking at, this SMC rates, and this SMCL is for somebody. I've got a close friend of mine. I remember up in North Dakota. He's missing an arm from the military. Guess what? He qualifies for this. I have friends I know that have some sort of neurological issues. I know one guy he's a truck driver, has big problems in his legs. And one of his legs is quasi-atrophying, and I think it's from the Gulf War. He's got some issues. He might end up qualifying this, but I shared this stuff. I said, look at this stuff. Look at this kind of, and then these are different categorization, but this is money that's important to understand that's available to you. How do you know you don't know? How do you know you don't or have it? Do you not? Isn't that just extra money? Wouldn't that be just great to bless your family with? What's it cost you? Time. It costs time to fill out papers. And if you're housebound, if you're a veteran that's housebound and you're rated, guess what? Your family, your caretaker gets paid. Housebound allowance. The DIC, as I was mentioning the other day, a base that goes to the spouse, minimum 1,600 extra a month when you're gone. And if you got kids, you can add on all that. Look at that money, guys and gals. Not chump change. And then there's this current pension rate for vets. Not real. Haven't paid much attention to how to get the pension rates. But again, these are things that are available if if you don't qualify because of your income with your spouse or whatever the case might be. Memorial Day. Today we talk about those who have gone before us and lost their lives. Tomorrow, you watching, me, anybody, we could drop dead. And if the malady is tied to one of our disability benefits, guess what? That's something that you deserve, every one of you. The guys and gals I've had the biggest problem getting this point across to are the guys from the Vietnam era, the Korean era, and what have you. And I've heard it all. I've heard every what appears to be logical excuses as to why I don't want to go out and make the time to get it. Yet, at the same breath, they said they could sure use it because that's just extra money. I mean, let's get real. Tax free money you earn. It's not a welfare benefit. It's a warfare benefit. It's a military benefit that you're due. And how do you know you're not you don't earn you haven't earned it unless you've tried and put the paperwork in to do it. So remember this weekend, guys. It's all about Memorial Day. Are you going to be a statistics down the road? Are you going to know exactly what's going on with your body? Are you going to be compensated? Do you want your family while you're living to have a better lifestyle? Well, if you're doing great, great. Doesn't matter. It's extra. Remember, if you're employed and you're making X, this disability benefit is extra, tax free. Tax free. Tax free. So think about that. I just want to leave that word of thought. What's our responsibility as vets? To sing the songs of those before us, our compatriots that we knew, those that we've heard about, and we just share stories that we know about them and just honor them. But you're a living legend yourself because you serve. You owe this to your family. You owe this to you. The biggest struggle that guys do, and I'll speak from a guy standpoint, we can't get around ourselves. We can't get away from ourselves. We think we're right. In many cases, we're not. We're just all about, most people are type A egos. And if you've done certain things in the military, there's some positions that are beta related in terms of, they're just not real active. Most of my positions were type A positions until my last four. And then I was kind of a sit back, and I was still type A in my own right. But you guys and gals, just don't forget, sing the song of somebody you know, honor them, laugh if you've knew them, bring fond memories out, but also think you're also a legend. You've served people. Your people will talk about you. Now, whether you want them to talk positive, negative, that's up to them. But if you've served and you've done any time in the military and you got out, you've earned the benefits, and you need to discover what you're due, especially as you age through life, like I have. All right, God bless America. God bless our troops. And remember, thank those living. And if you're out and about and you happen to see some Vietnam vets or somebody with a Silver Star, Purple Heart, whatever, buy their meals. Buy their meals. And just say thank you. God bless America. God bless our troops. Flying Auditor. I'm out.